76. Yep.
76.
Doc, you chuck one of those down?
Yeah, I got. Am I on air?
How are you still talking then? Must be like, bleh.
Right.
Hey!
Yeah,
Welcome back to the show.
So we
Everybody.
started. We did.
We are officially started.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Did this one really throw you for a loop? Are you shocked this time?
Yeah, I know, right? It was your shirt that shocked me. Like I can't believe somebody would wear that on.
Oh, what's on my shirt?
Air.
Don't steal. The government hates competition.
Dude, what kind of message are you trying to send?
I don't know.
It's like
I'm
You
feeling
need to steal, you need to steal that phone.
I don't understand that shirt.
Feeling very altruistic.
That's a good word.
I wish I had this shirt when we had Stucky on. That's all.
No joke. So I just I stole one of Heath's cough drops. I put it in one side of my mouth. I got a dip snuff in the other side of my mouth. I'm gonna have to get rid of one.
That's an interesting.
Which one do you?
I would go with the cough
Which one do you
drop.
get rid of? Yeah.
I think the snuff.
How do you do both at the same time? That's disgusting.
You
sounding.
don't do it for long. I can tell you that.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
It's like a cherry menthol wintergreen mixture.
It's a little mixture.
God dang, Doc.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do something about Chance's look at me camera. I cannot see one single inch of your face because of it.
Really?
Look at that big old honking thing, dude. God.
What are you talking about?
I can't see Doc at all because of your look at me camera setup you got going on over. Look at it. I can't see. No, I can't see.
If we
I have to look at Doc through the screen to
You're
see
talking
him.
about on a personal level.
I mean, we could.
I'll talk to
Yeah.
him through the screen then.
I got to talk to you through the screen.
I don't know. Well, we'll have to think about this problem. It's like get a longer arm and then back up. And so relative to the lens, like the mic is actually smaller. And
Well, I have to have my camera
Maybe they
set
just
up
need
here
to be
for.
ceiling mounted.
Oh yeah. Well, now you're making
That's
us.
true.
Now you're making us work
now
hard.
we gotta work.
Okay?
Yeah.
Look, we don't even have internet working today. We're on the struggle bus tonight. So
Wow.
you could give me a forehead mounted like microphone, like the actors do.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
That's
talk
what
into
you
the
need.
camera.
that's not the problem though. It's this thing is what he's saying.
Yeah, I just can't look into
Yeah.
your eyes without
because
looking at a screen.
My camera's here.
Jeez, that's hard.
Yeah.
You remember when we first started this video part? He's like, "Oh, we should just get one camera. It's good enough." Everybody says we just need one camera. That's all we need. And now it's like, no, this isn't perfect. The white balance on that one's off. We need to get that fixed.
That's right.
The videos look like crap. Get them fixed, guys. Yeah, now we're perfectionists for some reason. But hey, anyways, now that we're through that,
Oh, no, I got one more.
Yeah.
This has off topic, but I went there today, and this is how good it was. So we all love BJ's, correct?
I mean,
In what context?
they have good pizza.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
got good
BJ's
pizza.
Brew
House.
House.
Cody,
I'd say it's a good
geez,
place.
man.
I actually like their Jeremiah Red. It's one of my favorite beers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we all know about their desserts, which is called the anybody?
yeah.
The Pazookies.
The bazooki.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
like a big cookie with ice cream on top of it. We went there today because it was on the way home for volleyball. Their new Pazookie, cinnamon roll Pazookie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cinnamon roll in a pan with a pound of ice cream on top of it. And it
Sounds-
is freaking amazing.
That
I
sounds
think I
amazing.
gained 5 pounds just listening to that
Yeah,
description.
isn't it great?
But we're not here to talk about.
That
Pazookies.
should be illegal.
It should
really.
be.
We're not here to
It's
talk about
Wilford
Pazookies.
Brimley, well
I
done,
didn't even
Randy.
say the name right.
It's like we're
Pazookie.
gonna hand you crack in a cast iron.
That's
pan.
right.
Yeah, that should be.
But thanks to America's sugar lobby, the government
Yeah.
says it's totally healthy for you and okay
Right.
to eat. But cocaine,
I didn't
don't
see
do that.
healthy.
Don't do the other white
That-
powdery sugar.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And we weren't gonna talk about drugs because
we're not here to talk
we
about.
actually have a guest.
We're not here to talk about Pazookies or cocaine or what the government
Yeah.
says you can and can't
Well,
do. At
there's
least
the-
from a
there's the
federal
title
perspective.
anyway.
Well, right. Yeah.
Bazookies, cocaine, and the government.
But
That'll be a fun title for this one.
this is a special episode. We're continuing.
Mark that
it
down.
I don't think we need to mark that one. That one's easy. Pazookies.
You know how many times
You
we've said
say
that?
that.
How many times have we
Okay,
said
all right.
that?
I'm gonna write
Okay,
it.
Write
Down.
it down.
I'm gonna write it down. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're literally
Bazookies,
5 minutes into this, so if
cocaine,
you don't, I'm
and
gonna know
the
where we
government.
said that.
Does anybody know how to spell Pazookie?
No, it's
It's
puh.
Google knows how to
I
spell
think it's
it.
just P-O-O.
Yeah, I think it's
going.
Poozuki.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just do it phonetically. You get it right.
Poozuki.
Poozuki.
No, this looks like Poozaki.
That's close enough.
I'm gonna start over again. Pazookie.
I feel like we need to start this whole thing over.
Wait, who was that?
Who was that? Oh, do we
The
have
guy,
a
that,
oh, look
the
at
guy
that
that
guy.
never shows up
What?
and is
Look at
telling
him.
us what to do with our episode.
Y'all just look at him.
Bazooki cocaine and the federal government.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. But anyways, that's not at all what
But we should
tonight's episode is
Yeah.
about.
And our guest already approved of that title.
Yes.
We
It was
did.
her idea.
We saw her
Yeah,
nodding her head on
absolutely.
camera.
Roll with it.
That's which means we have a guest.
Yes. That's what I've been trying to say for the last 5 minutes.
Well, say it already. Dang.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Anyways, tonight we're continuing our educational segment on your local elected officials and what they do and what their role is, because personally I get older and I realize I don't know as much as I thought I did.
Make sure we mark that.
Well,
You admitting that you don't know as much as you think.
well, there it is. It's out there now. But anyways,
That is officially the act of getting wiser.
I'm glad you
Okay.
said that.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel better then.
Yeah. You are getting wiser.
We can talk
whenever
about that
you
later.
realize you don't know as much as you thought you knew.
Yes.
I like
Okay.
it.
I feel very
Yeah.
wise then. Wise beyond comprehension.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, tonight is about a local mayor of ours, Amanda Black from Paradise, Texas.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Here's your
Awesome.
final and formal introduction.
Yay.
And she is also joined by Mayor Pro-Tem.
Ghost Bro.
Ghost Bro.
Do you have a real name? What is that? I mean, if you're here in an official capacity,
Yeah,
is-
it's knowing, bro.
there's
Seeing. Knowing.
Knowing.
Ninja Bro,
Ninja. Ghost.
Ninja.
Yeah, a
Ghost.
little bit of
Is he-
everything.
CoCo.
CoCo.
Yeah, CoCo.
Yeah.
That's what he's in my phone is CoCo Anderson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine too.
I wish
I'm
I,
going to get Alicia to order you a new nameplate.
Yes,
Yes.
awesome. Yeah. It's Cody Anderson.
Yes.
That would be my official name.
well, now that we're
I.e. silent partner.
yeah,
Yes.
now that we have that out of the way.
Yeah.
Hi, Amanda. Welcome and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I've been following this whole series, and I have found it very educational, even for me.
Okay, that's awesome. So, have you listened to anything before the series?
I have. I've gone backwards in the podcast a time or two.
Okay, I noticed because you brought a gift.
I did.
And you made mention of the Conspiracy Crossroads.
Yes,
segment.
I do remember
Which
when
we
we were
haven't had in a
discussing
while.
that
I know.
that having your own chickens is the gateway to being a conspiracy theorist. And I don't have my own chickens yet, but
But
what I do is I make my own soap.
You said doo doo.
I did say
Just
doo
saying.
doo. I did say doo doo. You called me on that. Thanks. And so it is very simple soap. It is a lye soap.
Oh.
It is not a glycerin soap. And I brought several.
So what does that mean?
I wouldn't
Pass
know
that
the
around.
It's a
difference.
lye,
Okay.
not a glycerin.
So glycerin, people who make glycerin soaps, it's basically they take a base already done and melt it down and add fragrances. and
It all
stuff.
smells the same. So smell your piece. Pass it
And-
down.
Give us ours.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got extras, so there's plenty. But when you make lye soap, you actually get the full chemical reaction between your fats and the lye saponification.
Yeah.
And so,
Wow.
and that's
It's
how you
like-
get soap.
Yeah,
So-
that's awesome. Did you go to like college and study science?
I went to YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube
everything.
University. Where does-
YouTube University. Yeah. And it's very nuanced to do, though. There are a lot of videos out there, and, and you'll watch them, and they're adding colors and different essential oils and all this stuff. And I'm like, I want two things. I need the fat and I need the lye. And you add water. And then, like, that's it. That's all I want.
Did you go to a liposuction clinic and get the fat of the land?
No, I
It's-
just get the coconut oil from Costco.
Okay, well that's good
The
too.
big tub, you know,
Surely-
make it in
Yeah.
a big batch.
You've seen Fight Club, right? Have you seen that movie back in the day?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Okay, good point.
We don't.
Okay, all right. Moving on.
No, thank you for the soap.
That's
Seriously,
awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So there's no
There's
no
nothing.
aromatics.
It
it's
is
just
literally
Okay.
coconut oil, lye, and it's not even the fancy smancy soap lye that you can get from
Yeah.
sites. It's like go to Lowe's and get the, stuff you'd put in your septic system, the 100% lye,
Yeah.
and water, and watch the chemical magic.
well, so then
Pour
following
it in a
down the
mold and
So,
Same
so
con-
this was what soap was.
he's going to do
was
this all
like-
night, didn't
Yeah.
he? Just interrupt me all night.
Yeah, 80 years ago. It's and not like outside of the ash and pig lard days. Right?
beef tallow a lot of the times, and
Yeah.
it would be really harsh. Their fat to lye ratio would be so much, but the lye would be really strong in it, so it'd be super harsh. So I like to make mine what's called super fatting. It's about 5 to 10% super fat, so a little bit more on the oil side, and it foams up, it bubbles up real nicely, and it feels nice soft. Even in hard water, it gets pretty foamy, which is
Interesting.
amazing.
Well, that's cool. That's awesome.
But continuing on the path of conspiracies, I like that this is unscented because there's a lot of hearsay right now, especially for like infants and toddlers and young children, that, skin allergens are mostly caused by all of the flavorings or the aromatics and stuff that they put in laundry soaps and bath soaps. And it's like you're still going to smell good if you scrub all your dirt off with a soap that doesn't have an aroma.
And there is a difference between soap and detergent.
Okay.
And I don't know enough of it to go down there. Y'all can Google that later. But a lot of the stuff you do your laundry in and clean around the house, those are detergents.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and there is a difference.
Besides just being like
the way it works, with the chemical compounds and how it's built, the molecular structure and all that.
that whole
So,
process.
yeah. And so that kind of plays a big deal of it too.
I'm off and on the crunchy dad thing with kids and raising a little one. So, yeah, I know a couple of
You
things.
say
about
crunchy?
this.
Or?
Yeah, there's a crunchy mom movement.
Yeah.
It's a holistic.
When you're doing all
mom.
natural, you make your own granola bars from the granola that you made yourself. And I got a sourdough starter in my fridge, but
I've done
don't
that.
have the time.
It does. That requires effort, doesn't it?
It's a 24-hour process if you do it right.
Yeah.
But it's valid to go down that path, just even if you only gain an appreciation for home labor, right?
There's a reason why if you start doing that stuff yourself, you do not have time to have an outside job.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I knit and crochet too. I'm sorry I didn't have enough time to bring everybody a washcloth because I only have enough time to knit or crochet a square, and so I do a lot of dishcloths and washcloths. But
that is awesome.
I've been busy lately.
Good job. Those go large.
Next time, have me back.
Yeah.
I'll bring-
Okay. All right. Same time next year. We expect.
No, we want a blanket.
Yes.
No.
A whiskey
Too
bros
big.
blanket.
With the
yes.
QR code and everything
Yeah.
into it.
That would be hard.
Don't hold your
I
breath.
guess. Yeah.
Well, other than soaps, tell us a little bit about yourself and your history, your upbringing.
Where you come from?
Where I come from.
Where'd you come from? Are you born and raised in Paradise?
No, I'm a move-in.
Yeah.
Under the technical term. I was born and raised through junior high in Farmers Branch.
Okay. So not far
Texas.
down the road.
No,
I'm gonna
not
say
far at all.
you still sound like one of us. You still you're not from California. It's easy
Okay,
to
well, I
tell.
went to high school in California.
Oh, God. You had to bring up the C word.
I did, but it was a worthwhile venture. It was one of those things. It was making the best of a divorce.
Okay.
And my mom remarried a sailor stationed in San Diego, 32nd Street. And he was
So
on
your
a-
mom, okay, you weren't making the best of a divorce in high school. Your mom was.
Well,
Yeah,
I
okay.
got to go live in California, a block off the beach for 4 years.
Hey, that's awesome.
And wrote myself a cute sailor who I'm still married to this day.
Maybe California didn't suck so bad at that time.
Yeah. It was the mid 90s. It was not bad.
Okay.
Everything was good in the
It
mid
was-
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
It seems like it. Yeah.
It's like I've actually been on some podcasts this weekend that make the claim that the last good time was the mid 90s. It has not been good since then.
Could have, I mean, kind of the last
Yeah.
bastion of freedom.
Everywhere.
Grunge rock
it was before
prevailing.
smartphones.
Yeah.
We
it was-
had the internet, and that was really good. The
Right.
fledgling internet, but it wasn't with us 24/7.
It's like pre tech bubble,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
that's it's a good
It's
point.
like the
So-
tech bubble sent us down some path.
Yeah.
So pre-Patriot Act, in other words.
Yes. Yeah. Pre 9/11, pre Patriot.
Yeah, being
Act.
spied on by
Right.
the people that care all about us.
And
But it's not about that tonight. Again,
yeah, that's true.
Back to me,
Yeah,
Doc.
back
Back
to
to
you.
me.
Oh yes.
Okay, over here.
I hope we do this, right?
I know, which is why I'm like, back, let's go over here.
Thank you for giving us some
Yeah, you're
direction.
welcome.
'Cause we need it.
I am the mayor.
So California, you found your husband.
I found a husband, and he was also from Texas. He grew up in the Houston area. And so it was really funny the day we met. It was Thanksgiving. There was a big bunch of sailors across the street. They had moved in, and I went over there to help to see if they needed help with Thanksgiving, and there were just sailors all over the place. And he had a Texas A&M ball cap on and a belt buckle and Wranglers and boots. And I'm like, I can talk to that guy.
Nice.
We got
Yeah.
something in common.
Yeah.
So we've been together ever since. And graduated. I went to Texas A&M on a Navy ROTC scholarship, which put me in the Corps Cadets. That
Okay.
that was an interesting time. That
Yeah.
was when they were still doing Bonfire. I was actually there when Bonfire fell.
Oh,
Were you
my.
really?
Yeah.
I was.
I was there at that time as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
What year was that?
Were you in the Corps, Doc?
No, I was not.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the other side of campus, so I don't even call
North
myself
side.
an Aggie.
Yeah. Well, we had two very different experiences at A&M for sure.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, life took a different turn. So I didn't get my boots, didn't graduate, didn't get my commission, but I do have 3 lovely daughters.
Okay, cool.
So
So
Take from that
fortunately,
what you
life took
will.
a turn.
it did.
Fortunately, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it really did. I probably would not have children to this day if it didn't happen, because when I was growing up, they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'm like, the boss.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter of what,
Right.
just the boss of,
And
Fortune
that
500.
requires a certain amount of dedication that
Right. I
kids
mean, I was going to
definitely
be
take
an
away
officer in the Navy, and then,
Yeah.
maybe kids after I did that. But who knows? I probably would have been very career oriented. I can get tunnel vision very
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
So-
probably what makes you extremely successful.
Well, it is what allows me to do this, to be
Yeah.
mayor. It also, when my kids were young, I was very heavily involved in our church. I started a Kids Day Out program at the church, which is still running to this day. I started and built it up and ran it for 5 years. And then we decided we were going to homeschool all 3
Okay.
girls. So we homeschooled for 3 years. So then I did that. And we moved out here and put them all in school. And sometime around 2016, there was several spots open on city council and nobody was signing up for them.
So at
Yeah.
that point, you're in Paradise at 2016 or before then?
2014, we moved in April of 2014 and
Okay.
put the girls back in school that
Okay.
fall. So,
Okay.
and
Okay. So that's how long have you been mayor?
2 years. I just
Okay.
started a second 2-year term.
So pretty recent then. You're
Yeah. So you had
For
a
mayor,
gap
yes.
between 2016 and becoming
Becoming mayor.
Yeah, I think you were
I served
starting
on
to
city
say
council.
city council.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually lost the election to a guy who was a volunteer fireman, had been on city council before,
Yeah.
so I did get appointed to an open seat early in 2017.
So what made you decide to even run in the first place?
Nobody was signing up, and somebody in my family called me and said, "Hey, Mandy, you need to do this."
Yeah.
Obviously, because my kids were older and back in school, and I didn't have anything to do with my time. So.
And then somebody else just
You needed to
decided
do that.
to sign up as well.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
I
And
think
it
they
happened
were
to be
even on
like
the news.
The most popular
that fall
dude in
when it
town.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got on council and served for a few years, lost another election.
I mean, you're looking at CoCo.
I feel a little animosity
Yeah.
in those
But-
words.
Just a little.
Actually, I felt the lasers.
another one of
like,
those things.
Yeah.
It was another one of those things that was for the best, though.
What'd you do to her,
Probably.
Ghost Bro?
I ran against her and won.
Oh. You let this guy beat you?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even try.
I know a few people around here. I think that's what helps.
Yeah, name recognition. But it gave me another year off. I still was very active. I went to the meetings, kept
Yeah.
up with stuff, and then the mayor's seat was coming up, and I was like, okay, let's do this.
So, what is involved in running for? Like, how big is Paradise? First of all,
Paradise is about 2.2 square miles. So
Okay,
very
it's
small, the
small.
actual city limits. The
Okay.
actual city limits of Paradise, and those who they have to follow the city ordinances and pay city taxes and all
Yeah.
of that is very small.
But changing rapidly, like the whole dynamic of Paradise. It's not just a small few old downtown people anymore that have been there for multiple generations. Like,
No, we
It's-
have 3 subdivisions bringing new people in.
mhm.
so I
Into
want
the
to get
actual
there.
city
It's
limits,
like,
though?
Yes,
Okay.
into the actual
so
city
you have
limits.
city limits. I learned this from Eddie Allen.
Mhm.
You have city limits. So those are the people actually in a city, and then you have people who call themselves part of the city who may not be in the city limits.
Right.
What's a population that call themselves Paradise?
Ginormous. I'm not even really sure. It's if you get your mail delivered from the Paradise Post Office, you have a Paradise address, and a lot of people, they live in Paradise.
I can tell you,
can
it
call
goes
yourself Paradise
all the way basically to the southern county line, to Parker County.
Yep.
Because I lived I think that log house was a half a mile from the property line, and I had a Paradise address.
Right.
Property line, county line, and I had a Paradise address.
I can tell you that the ISD, I want to say, is 72 square miles.
That's pretty big.
Okay.
And that's probably representative of that, if not it's still smaller than all those who have a Paradise address. So if you Cottondale has technically Paradise address,
Well, so duties as mayor, like if you ask some people, they would tell you that a mayor is just a smiling, glad hand that represents their city, the town crier or something, an advanced version of that.
Okay.
I'm getting a vibe from you that it is definitely not that. You have a personality that screams, I'm going to be way the hell more engaged in whatever those lies are.
Yes, and that was why I ran in the first place, was to be more engaged and to be more involved and have more oversight. There were things I saw that needed to be straightened up a little bit and tightened up and maybe changed because we have a lot of growth coming, and the role of the mayor changes with type of city. Number one,
Sure.
You have general law cities and you have home rule cities. Decatur, a home rule city, most likely. I know Bridgeport
it
is.
is.
Tell us. This is what we're here for.
it's
Tell
your-
us what those are.
Home rule cities, basically, they write their own rules. Okay.
Okay.
General law, of course, within the state law as well. General law cities, basically, we're just beholden to state law.
Okay.
And there's A, B, and C, and that has to do with like how big you are, how many people live there, what kind of industry and stuff you have there. And we are a type A general law city. So
Okay.
everything in the local government code that permits cities and elected officials and appointed officials their authority, that's what we follow. So if you look up the powers and duties of the mayor in the local government code, the first line is the mayor is the chief executive officer of the city. So
Yeah.
You are
Boss.
CEO of
CEO.
Paradise.
CEO
Yeah.
of Paradise.
Okay.
Of the working like company of Paradise. So
Right.
So you can look at it a lot like a CEO of a business, and then you're going to be managing the duties of that boss.
Right. And
so to
then there's
speak.
also cities who have city managers and city administrators.
Okay.
So a lot of those administrative duties would fall to that person.
Yeah.
Paradise doesn't
Nate
have
Mara.
those people.
Nate Mara is that person.
Okay,
And,
gotcha.
Eddie talked about him. Mike Murray in Bridgeport. John Cabrales in New Fairview.
We would love to pressure Nate to getting on the show. I mean,
That's
not-
like
he's not
having a
elected, but-
COO. It's like CEO
Right.
who of a company who is big enough to have a COO. That would be like the administrator.
Yes. And when you have a city manager and a city administrator, they take on some of those roles that would otherwise fall to the mayor.
Okay.
Budget officer, presenting, coming up with the agenda, putting before the council the business that needs to come. We don't have that.
Yeah.
you,
So that falls
yes, you
on
do. You.
We have me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I take that responsibility in that role pretty seriously. I do a lot of networking and a lot of research and conferences, and you got to look at the big picture of what's going on and then figure out what you need to triage first and how to get there, and work with our city engineers. We outsource everything. We work with companies. So we have a city engineer that we contract with and city attorneys, and I spend a lot of time emailing and talking with them.
So I'm
Working through stuff.
getting the flavor that everything's not just good. It's like everybody's happy, everything's good, there are no issues.
Just another day in paradise.
Depends on who
there's
you
always a fire.
Yeah.
Right?
It really does
how it
depend on who
feels?
you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people don't like change.
Okay.
And change is thrust upon us whether we want it or not.
Yeah, that's the one inevitable thing. And it's like you either embrace it or you just get run over by it because it's not stopping for you or anybody else.
So what presents change? Like who brings change to the table?
Developers.
Oh, okay. I got it.
And a need
Right.
and a need for housing. Like it's not developers. They're building the houses because there's a need for those houses. People need a place
So the
to
market.
live. Yeah, the market's dictating a change.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have to keep up with that.
Right.
You, the city.
We have to, we are the receivers of the change, the developers, right? So
Yeah.
we have to make sure that our infrastructure in place can handle it. And if they bring in something that requires updating and improvement of that, well, it's on them to do it.
Yeah.
It's not on my taxpayers to pay for their development.
Sure.
So
yeah.
so what I'm hearing is you do it because if you didn't do it, somebody else would do it and they might do it badly
Or not do it at all.
or not do it at all.
It's one of those things is you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Okay.
So,
Wow, that's
I mean, I
big.
could phone it in and just show up for meetings and bang my gavel and,
Yeah.
you know. But then we went and
Eddie kind of gave the same kind of lingo as well. It's like it's like you could just not be part of the process, or you can
And still
be
get
fully engaged into
Right.
this process because it's inevitably or it's infinitely deep, right?
there's always a lot to it. And the more engaged I can get even the council members to get into the better it is.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, needs to have a personal stake in it.
Yeah,
and
this
they
is
do.
a really unique spot for you to and for us to talk to you about this because of the dynamic of Paradise, like a very fast growing community that's going to probably at one point maybe it is going to require a city manager.
It's one of my goals.
Yeah.
I actually would like to get it to a place where they can afford a city administrator so that no matter who's elected, the El Jefe, there's someone who is there, knowledgeable, and there can be continuity in there and guide the mayor and the council.
Speaking for yourself, is the position of mayor, is it a 5-day a week thing or a 7-day a week thing? Are you showing up? I mean, 8
Probably
hours a
depends
day
on the
Is
city,
this-
right?
7 days a week, 24 hours
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
the emergency after hours line goes to me unless I'm out of town. Then it goes to
Yeah,
Cody.
then it goes to me.
then it goes
Mayor
to
pro
Cody.
tem over
Yeah.
there.
And then
What does
have
that
people-
even
Or
mean?
somebody else who happens to be in town that week. Cody is my second if I'm
Okay.
not available.
So
Yeah.
so back up.
The tables have
You're
turned.
like the VP,
Yeah, I mean,
right? Okay.
I keep him so as my pro tem. If I'm not around for some reason, he needs to be knowledgeable of what's been going on, and so I keep him up to date more regularly in
Okay.
between meetings. Of like, this is just what's going on. I'm going to be out of town. This is where we're at, so you know what's happening in case something happens. You know, if I can't be at a meeting, he runs the meeting. If I can't get to the resident whose pipes burst and shut off their water and
Yeah.
call in reinforcement, Cody
have
goes
to
out
sign
there.
checks. I got to go sign checks quite often. So
Ooh, that's a good point to bring up here in a little bit. Is fiduciary types things.
Sure. I even like there I go, interrupting you again.
Yeah,
That's-
I'm used to it.
I have a burning question that I had thought up this week. But how much of running a city happens on Facebook now?
We
None.
don't.
no.
We have a Facebook
Okay.
page we use primarily for getting the word out.
Okay, gotcha. It's like, you know, I was thinking about the Decatur like Facebook page. What is that called?
Oh,
You know, where all
not
the
Decatur Forward, but
the where everybody gets on and bitches about, you know, like roads and
Well,
the
they're gonna do
schools
that.
and
Yeah.
all this
We
stuff.
just don't do that.
Y'all just don't do that. You don't pay attention to it in your position.
oh, the page you're talking about specifically is Paradise People in the Know.
Paradise,
right?
Texas in the know.
That's
Yeah, but
it,
they don't
yeah.
have anything to do with the city.
No, that's not an
No.
official
No.
page by any means.
No.
No, but does it color your role at all?
It definitely shows what is known, what is common knowledge, who knows what about the ins and outs of what's actually happening, going on,
Okay.
which is not a lot.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and
I
I don't
mean,
know if
our-
I would say what people know either because it's what they might think
What
they
they-
know.
yeah. What they may think they
Yeah.
know.
Like
And
the
of course-
opposite of wisdom, right? Have we established that?
Yes,
Yes.
we did.
Yeah,
I feel
okay.
like we did. Yes.
I would chime in and get involved in some of those crazy topics that people are.
You can't call them debates.
They're not.
Yeah,
you
rants.
try and shed some
Rants.
light on some
Yeah.
just some truthful information, and it doesn't matter how true it is, and it's slapping them in the face. It's still not true to them. There's nothing you can do about it. So I
No.
kind of just backed off. They only have one side. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So,
We personally, the meetings are open. Even if you don't live
Yeah.
inside our 2.2 square miles, you are welcome to come.
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are welcome to come and sit and listen and,
Yeah.
Yeah,
hear
you
what's
can't.
actually
You
going
can't talk in them. I don't think. Can you?
If
Free
you're
on.
minutes.
Not outside public comment.
Right.
Okay.
But
Right.
but can you even sign up to talk if you're not a citizen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't ask if you actually live inside city limits or not.
Well,
You're allowed
describe
to talk.
for the people that might not know or that might not know and might be interested in attending one of these meetings. What are these? What happens at these city council meetings? What's the process with one of those?
Well, it's all very, pomp and circumstance. This is how you run your meeting, pledges, roll call, invocation, and then we'll have announcements if there's anything, like the fire truck, a new fire truck coming in.
Oh, okay, good.
To a point, they'll be, having to push the fire truck in. That was supposed to be this weekend, but it was going to be canceled for
Okay.
the weather. But so just announcements, fun stuff like that. And then there's a section open for public comment where anyone can have signed up to address the council. We tell them to keep it to 3 minutes, trying to be respectful of everybody's time.
Yeah.
And to understand that if it's not a posted agenda item, don't be upset if we don't talk back
It's
at you.
not gonna get
because
discussed.
we can't discuss it.
Okay.
Right? We can follow up on it at a later date.
But they theoretically get heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe in a better way than they would on Facebook or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They get heard by people on the council, not by all the other Facebook users.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When I get people come up to me and ask me, about stuff, I'm like, just ask for it to be on the agenda. If you really want to talk
Yeah.
about it, put it on the agenda. If we can get it on the agenda and it's something we can talk about, we'll do that.
It may not be immediately. It may be in the meetings to follow.
Yeah.
When we have people contact the office and they said, we want to get something put on the agenda, I always try to talk to them first because it may be something that I can handle right then and there. It may be a simple question that I can answer, give them background or tell them we're already on top of that and here's what we're doing. If it's not, then we'll see what we need to do and when we can
Right.
put it on the agenda.
Well, that's why I asked if y'all make them say where do you live, because in my world, my parks world, I've got grapped out by a lady from Dallas.
Yeah.
Wow.
She didn't even live here.
Wow.
So I was like,
Wow.
no.
Go back to Dallas.
Yeah.
How do you get in an item on the agenda?
I just have people just
Ask.
me. I'm like, I could probably get that on the agenda. I had somebody
Yeah.
ask me about being able to sell fireworks in the city limits.
We're still looking into that.
Yeah,
No
we're
one-
still looking into that. So it's just whatever you want to talk
So that's
about.
not a thing. You can't sell. You can't put a fireworks stand inside city limits.
No.
We used to have one actually.
I thought so.
There
right?
used to be one, but there by the old
Ed's?
by
Yeah.
Ed Malik's place. And so there used to be fireworks sold inside city limits.
Yeah.
Same
There's
way
an
in Decatur.
ordinance. Yeah, there's an ordinance now.
I don't understand it. Like I don't.
The funny thing is, you're allowed to actually pop fireworks in our city limits.
Yeah, I think there was a miscommunication.
But you can't
No,
sell it.
I wanted it. Yeah, I know that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, because now you're losing tax dollars.
Exactly.
That seems topsy turvy.
Wow. I didn't. There's
Yeah.
lots of people that pop fireworks
Yeah.
in our city, and I'm like, I don't want to take that away from them. I don't think it's a big deal.
Right. Until they burn the house down. But in my
burn half town
right. But
down.
in my idea, my thing is if you allow it, I mean, yeah, you have the potential of burning somebody's house down, but you're gaining. But it doesn't make sense. It was the same way when we were wet, Decatur. Well, all of us, drive to Jeter's
Briar
back in the day. And then don't drink that on the way back to Decatur now. don't be opening that.
Right.
I mean, we were kids. We all did it. I mean, we drove down there and maybe had a couple roadies on the way back. But, I mean, that's what I don't understand. And your towns are like, nah, we don't want those tax dollars.
Yeah.
Take your tax money
If you
somewhere
forbid
else.
something, people are going to say, okay, I'll go spend my money somewhere else. And
but
then
what
bring-
don't make sense to me is if the border is here, you can't put that fireworks down here,
Yeah.
but 2 feet this way, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't
Distance
understand.
restriction-
You have to define a border.
I don't
Yeah.
understand
What's
a
the
lot
city
of
limits?
distance
That's
restrictions.
the thing.
Yeah.
You can do it because I mean, if you go to Decatur and you look at our city limits, it does a bunch of this jazz.
Yep.
You know, so on one of those loops, there's a fireworks stand here, and this is the city limits around it.
Yeah.
But it's technically not in the city limits, so they can sell, which don't
There-
make sense to me.
There are a lot of laws that don't make sense.
No, God, no.
So I guess that's why somebody might want to become like city council or mayor.
Be
is-
engaged in that somehow. Yeah.
You learn a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, you can always take it upon yourself to go back to YouTube University and ask questions
Yeah.
and learn, or go to a conference and learn. Like Eddie said, you don't know what you don't know. And I preach that all the time. I definitely don't know everything, but I know about 10 people I can reach out and call and ask,
Yeah.
what did you do here? How did y'all handle this? Why?
Yeah.
And then figure out how we can adapt it for
I
Paradise.
think that's a huge revelation in being in an elected position is, you're not electing people that are literally wizards. Like they have to learn things and adapt too. And
Right.
and if
That's
they've got a
value-
great
yeah,
network
valid.
of people around them, then that makes them an even more valuable person or
and
asset
if they
to your
don't know
community.
it, then we have contractors that, lawyers, engineers that we get the right answers from. It's not like we're making the
Exactly.
decisions ourselves. It's educated decisions, and
That's the best way to put that all in a nice little package. Is like, look, yeah, I'm not a wizard, but I'm surrounded by very smart people that can give me all the info I need to know and help out my community.
So, okay, I have a tough question, and it borders on something that you and Carson and I were talking about the other night.
Well, I can only hear about a third of that because
yeah,
so,
we were in a very loud place.
Yeah.
You have their cap on too. So thank you, Matt. Locality.
We love Matt Barrington and locality, even though it's loud sometimes.
Yeah. So
Makes a great rosemary martini.
Yes, he does. He makes
I
great
love it.
everything.
Yeah, that's my go-to there.
if people had a bank account of interest, right? Like, and it doesn't have money; it has interest, and they can spend their interest on like any of the governments. Like the city government, the county government, the state government, or the national government. Where should they invest their interest? If having a look at
I mean, I know my answer.
small.
I would say for me, I think you should work within your circle of influence
Wow.
where you can make the most good and what you affect the
So
most
that's
change.
a significant idea. That's a significant answer. Is our circle of influence at the state level, at the national level, is like zero.
Minuscule, yeah.
Right.
It's zero. But at the community level, it's potentially massive.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can accept that
It's the
answer.
To a certain extent,
Yeah.
I pay attention to what's going on in the state level, especially when they're, talking about the different legislation going through there. TML does a really good job with putting legislation updates out there on Fridays, and
Good to
they'll
know.
put blurbs out on what these bills are, especially since they pretty much lobby for cities. They'll say these are the ones that affect cities the most, and I pay attention. And if there's a
Gotcha.
particular one on there that I know about and I will reach out to Lynn Stuckey and say, listen, this is something you need to pay attention to me. Like there was a bill wanting to take away what's called the de minimis tax rate, which is a tax rate that really small cities can use because, Eddie kind of touched on it before, your no new revenue tax rate and then your voter approver tax rate. And your de minimis tax rate is also called like the fire truck tax rate.
Okay.
It's the tax rate that would allow cities to bring in $500,000 of property tax
Okay.
more, which would
Gotcha.
enough to buy a fire truck.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and that's kind of decided upon at the state
Small
level.
fire truck.
Yeah, a used fire truck.
I was gonna
I
say.
know, but that is because small cities they don't make a lot of property tax, and if you are also like Paradise, you don't have a lot of business development, which is a whole other topic. We'll get there.
Yeah.
And so being able to not have to yo-yo your tax rate all the time,
Gotcha.
when the appraisals change, it
Yeah.
helps us, and it also brings in more money that we can put into the roads. So like we haven't changed our tax rate in years. It's stayed
Right.
the same. We haven't had to yo-yo it with
Yeah.
the appraisals because
It's like when appraisal's high, you have to lower the tax rate. When
Yeah.
they're low, you get the opportunity to raise it. So you
because nobody ever wants to raise their tax rate.
no
It looks bad.
right.
So we haven't changed it. Our tax rate's the same.
All right.
Good job.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
hey.
Where does
Good job.
city council and being a mayor, where does that fall in line with your emergency services and the apparatuses? And okay, so Paradise has a very small city limits footprint, but a massive emergency response footprint. Like that's a lot of ground to cover for
Especially
fire.
now.
Yeah, for
Right.
fire.
Well,
EMS.
the fire department is a volunteer fire department. Of course,
Still.
now they've were able to get past their emergency service district. So
that did pass.
That did pass.
Okay. I hadn't heard.
And
that was my whole, especially now, thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're separate from the city.
Okay.
In and of themselves. We support them because they do a great service in the city, and they are inside city limits. So we do support them obviously a lot. But
at some point,
who are they under? The county?
They're
their own.
separate.
They're their own thing.
Wow. Okay.
They're their own. Volunteer fire departments is their own entity. They have to do their own fundraising, their own.
So with this new emergency services district, it's still a separate entity that has nothing to do with cities or county.
They have their own board, which will make the decisions. They will collect a tax to help fund their, services.
Yeah.
And it's like partitioned out by the tax people, right?
I don't know how the taxes get partitioned out. I just know they get deposited in the city bank account.
Yeah, this is a whole new thing.
And I'm like, thank you.
I know we had determined on the last podcast that we need the director of the EDC on, and maybe we need the emergency services.
That might be a big hit because it's the first time for the county, right? Like this is a whole new enterprise.
There's an ESD in Boyd, and
is there?
Yeah,
there's 3 of them. Isn't there?
Yeah, this is ESD 3, so there are 2 others already established in the county.
It's like Boyd and.
It's like, where do you learn about this stuff?
Well, there's a lot of rural
council meetings.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so I'm detecting a theme here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like this.
There's a lot of rural ground to cover still in this county, which is, I think, the essence of these emergency services district. Is you may have to drive 15 miles to get to somebody's emergency inside the county.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the in unincorporated areas are filling up. People are coming out here, and they want to have the same services they were getting in Keller and South Lake and wherever. So they
have expectations.
The expectations are there. And
okay, so what about as Paradise grows then, what about, inside of city limit emergency responses with law enforcement or fire, or I know the volunteer is going to cover it all, but what about law enforcement in those instances?
We work with the sheriff's office.
Okay.
We don't have our own police force, so we're heavily dependent upon the sheriff deputies responding. There's a lot of things that happen in Paradise. It's not only the sheriffs that respond, though. Boyd gets there pretty quick. Boyd PD. Everybody backs up everybody else. Same thing with the fire departments. And we also have worked with their resident deputy program so that we would pay extra hourly rate to have deputies who, above and beyond their regular schedule, will come out and just patrol Paradise for Paradise.
Interesting.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our own judge and court.
We have a
everything at
court,
City
a
Hall.
record, so that we can process tickets when they do speeding tickets.
Okay.
And code enforcement, we contract out with code enforcement.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that was a possibility. So, and you're utilizing county law enforcement, but directing that
as they are able.
Okay.
I just heard we hadn't had a resident deputy in a while. Of course, y'all heard that the sheriff's department, they're trying to build up the program and build up their deputies. But I did hear that there were 2 more that signed up to be resident deputies for Paradise.
Okay.
So we're waiting to have them come by and introduce themselves and get them.
How does that manage? Like if they pull somebody over inside city limits, just because they're on the timesheet for Paradise at the moment, they know automatically to direct that
Yes.
ticket revenue.
They will
the
come
city.
to City Hall and pick up the Paradise ticket book.
Okay.
And anything they do while they're on our dime will go through our court system.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's not, everyone, thinks that you're going to make a lot of money in tickets and fines. No, this is not something we make money on. This is something that we do just to try to provide some better service to our citizens.
Well, and safely regulate, like 114 is a really busy highway full of idiots too. So
it's like the details are mind-boggling. Does Paradise have like a secretary who printed the ticket book?
I bet I know who did.
We
You just
order
buy
it.
them.
Amazon.
Yeah. I don't even know, but you can order them.
To answer your question, Decatur is a home rule.
It is home rule. Yeah, I figured.
We are going to have the sheriff on as a guest, so we can kind of elaborate
We
on
are.
this.
I
whole
did not know
topic.
this.
Yeah.
That's because you
I
don't look
think
at the
you
text.
also need to ask a constable.
Okay.
They're also an elected
We've been told
official.
that, but
How do you
think
say it?
constables have much to talk about?
How do you say it?
A constable.
Constable? Huh? We don't ever call them that.
What do you call them?
Constable. That's the way we always say it. Constable.
Constables? Wow. No, this just keeps going on and on.
My
Like
goodness.
I don't know if the constable.
What?
Do you think they're worth having a conversation with?
Do you know what they do?
No.
They serve
Then
warrants.
there were.
Yeah. All I know is they serve
Exactly.
warrants.
That's
Serve
what-
papers.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what they do. I do know the constable, Barney Graham, he works under Kevin Huffman. He's going to come to our council meeting, FYI,
Okay.
Surprise.
yeah.
to just be there because you never know how meetings are going to go.
Whiskey Bros work for security.
Yeah, you do
Just saying.
security.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, and I've talked to them because sometimes what if a sheriff deputy can't come out to back up my code enforcement officer? He's going to be doing some work, and sometimes he would like to have law enforcement there with him, depending
Yeah.
on what he's doing. So I'm trying to build these relationships. Well, if the sheriff's deputies can't make it out, is this something that,
constable
maybe
can
a
do.
constable
Yeah.
can come out and, help me out with?
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah.
networking and asking.
You're not the only one
Wow.
to say that we should have one of those guys on
Yeah.
here, though.
Were you talking
Barney,
to-
there is your shout out.
Okay.
He was at the chief last night.
Barney, get in touch with us, or we'll get in touch with you. We'll find you. We got our ways. We'll find you. The Whiskey Bros will put out our feelers.
Yeah.
God, I remember back. I know everybody here at this table. I don't know, what year did you move here? 2014.
2014.
This was before him. We had a nutcase of a constable that I think he threatened people's lives. He did not make constables look good. And there's been kind of a bad taste in everybody's mouth about constables since then. Not going to mention names, but people will know who I'm talking about. Everybody had a run-in with this idiot. He was an idiot. He was like the high school bully or the kid that got
Wow.
bullied and then had just a vengeance that he wanted to get on everybody.
I know what's crazy is he didn't get there on his own,
No, he was
It's
put
like
in
he was put
positions.
in.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about deputy constables. I know but the head constable in each precinct is elected.
He
So, like
was.
precinct 4 is Kevin Huffman.
I don't know any of them.
Yeah.
It's us.
But one.
It's us.
Yeah. So,
So okay, valid.
and Barney
valid
works
idea.
under Kevin.
It's like
so.
we need to have a constable on.
Yeah, I really didn't even know there was
Okay.
4 of them.
How often are
Right?
city council meetings taking place?
In Paradise, it's once a month.
Okay.
And that's probably because that's all I could get him to come.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind having him more frequently because sometimes having that 4-week stretch between meetings and that putting off some things because, our meeting's not for another 3 weeks. Although we'd really like to take care of this now. Can't because we
Yeah,
don't
but you
have
can
another
schedule
meeting
a
for 3
special
weeks.
session, can't you?
Yeah, Cody, can't we?
Yeah. You can.
You can, but you ain't getting nobody to show up.
Wow.
Special sessions are really hard to pull off. The council members, they work, they have kids, they're busy.
Yeah.
I think the last one y'all did, I wasn't even in town.
Mm.
Yeah.
What are crucial things that get on the agenda as far as city council meetings go? And I know there's like businesses you're talking about. Time is of the essence. Are there businesses that are like, okay, I need a permit, but this has to wait until each council meeting? Like I have theoretically, I would have a business ready to go. Doors are ready to open, but I'm still waiting on my final inspection or permit or whatever to operate.
Nothing like that. We do have something coming up, and this kind of illustrates where the timing issue comes in. I have a request for a replat
Okay.
of some property in town, and there's a 20-foot alleyway between these 2 lots. Actually, there's 8 lots that all want to be replatted into one. Well, there's 2 issues here. One, the city needs to officially abandon that alleyway,
Okay.
and then 2, approve the replat of the property. Replat requires public notice, 15 days in the paper. Messenger only comes out once a week.
Uh-huh.
And it's got to be at least 15 days before our meeting. And then there's public hearings. So, I mean, I already know that the notice has to go out in the paper the first week of February in order for it to run long enough before we get to the meeting to even talk about it and approve it.
So this has to be transparent to the just specifically speaking about replatting. Like the public has. What if somebody comes up and says, "I don't like this plat"?
they can come. That's what the public hearing is for. They
Yeah.
can come and speak their mind.
But it's still the final say is through a city council
It's through
process.
the council,
Okay,
yes.
and a vote.
Mhm.
Okay, I got you. I didn't know.
And some of them are like multiple readings where you can't. It's not just the first reading. You can't even make a decision at that one, right?
Those rules change with size of towns, honestly.
yeah.
There are some how many times you have to read, or
Right.
even if you have to have a public hearing on some things
Yeah.
based on the size of the town and what kind of
I
town
just
you
know
are.
an indicator. I hear a lot of this is the first reading. The second
Right.
reading, you'll be able to make a decision or stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Man, that new riff's pretty good.
it is. And it's
Tasty.
evident by the fact that it's almost gone too.
Yeah,
And
it
then-
didn't last long, and the representative's not lasting long either.
No, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to restock here. We're down to like 20 bottles. I don't know what's gonna happen if we don't re up over here.
I mean that'll be new. It's never happened before, right?
I don't think we've ever gone without. No,
No.
so that would
Whiskey
be
Rich.
interesting. Yeah, I know. Like, will we have to change our name?
the
Whiskey less bros.
the Broken Bros. We've run out of whiskey. All right, in that same essence, let's talk about business developments. I know you kind of queued up something about that earlier, but what roles
Yes.
y'all are
Okay.
involved with
So,
that?
and I know Eddie touched on this. You have sales tax and you have property tax.
Mm-hmm.
The more sales tax you can collect at simple math, the less you need in property tax, which your residents like.
Yeah, makes residents happier.
Okay. So and he brought up his EDC. Paradise actually also has an EDC.
Interesting.
Okay.
That takes the same 1/3 of our sales tax and can use that to help businesses in town, like maybe improve their building or get new businesses in town. Where our crux is Paradise also does not have sewer. Everybody is on septic.
Yeah.
And that means you're very limited in what you can build. I mean, there's a half-acre minimum now because you have to
Yeah.
have your own.
Because there's sewer codes for very good reasons.
Right. You can't put a business strip.
Yeah,
Unless
And-
you have
and run
room
it
for
up.
also the
the septic.
the septic system for it. So we have had people and businesses come in and be interested. We, like that triangle in the middle of town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That would be a great business district, obviously,
Yeah.
but with no sewer, nobody really wants to touch it.
So,
so
also,
your hands are tied in a bit.
Right. So
Yeah.
sewer is a big thing we're trying to.
Paradise also has no city provided drinking or water system either, right?
We
It's
do
contracted
not
out.
treat our own. We purchase it wholesale from Walnut Creek and
Yeah.
resale it.
So what does the future look like with that? And like you were just saying, you're really wanting to get sewer in, you're wanting to get water in. Like if this city's going to grow, these are essentials, right?
I do have an idea of how I think if I could wave a magic wand and make this happen, for me, what I would need is a new ballpark. Youth sports is huge in
Sure.
Paradise, big in Paradise. Like the whole Paradise community revolves a
So
lot
you
around
need
youth
like
sports. Yes,
You need a parks
Yes.
board.
we have a Parks and Rec
We do.
board.
Okay.
And but the park that we have is an older park, and it's really too small for the demand.
Yeah.
So if we could get a better sports park, a newer sports park built, the area off 114 where that park is, I would like to put a new municipal complex there. Move City Hall off of Main Street. Move the fire department off of Main Street. And those two buildings could now be businesses.
Would this be like a joint venture with like the school? If you're talking about youth sports, or is this
No,
all
this
just
is
city?
rec
Yeah.
sports.
Okay.
Youth rec sports.
Okay.
Yeah, the school doesn't get involved for
Okay.
rec sports.
Yeah. So,
So-
this is just youth rec sports. So if we could get a new park for them and move City Hall into a bigger space, which would also have a community center space. A lot of people would like to have a community center, some other big meeting spot, a multi-purpose complex type of thing
Yeah.
in the fire department over there. And to come up with some sort of sewer solution, preferably, I would like Bridgeport, Mike, listen to me, Mike Murray, do this. Bridgeport to build a new sewer plant closer to us, and we would just
Pump it on down
pump
the
it
line.
all out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let somebody else
Okay.
handle the treatment of it, and we will be happy to send it
It
to
would be
you.
a good crossroads. I know where the area is you're talking about. That
Yeah.
would make a lot of really great sense.
And then
So-
that means business develop on 114 and Main Street.
Explodes.
Somebody can come in,
Yeah.
build up
Yeah.
that area, have you know.
So that works in a negotiation between Paradise and Bridgeport.
Yes.
You know, if somebody had
Or
that
Decatur,
idea,
Nate. We can talk about this, Nate.
yeah,
You know, just,
Okay,
just
far.
come this way. Just come this way. Come closer to Paradise.
You'd have to
Regional.
cross the Trinity. Ain't happening.
right.
Aw.
But
I mean, they put pipelines across rivers,
who
bro.
negotiates that deal? You and somebody from Bridgeport, I guess, right?
Yeah. It's just been one of
Yeah.
those things that's an idea that's floating. We actually did a sewer feasibility study on what it would take to get sewer in Paradise. And you
Yeah.
need to come up with a few different options. 'Cause you have to do the way things work. You got to do feasibility study before you even can go to the next step
Mhm.
to do anything. And one of them was, what would it look like if we pumped it all to Bridgeport's plant where it is now?
Yeah.
And that was really expensive.
Just to get it moved.
Just to get it over there, all the right of way
Yeah.
that you would have to get it over there.
It would
be
behoove
insane.
Paradise to have either something closer in a joint venture with Bridgeport,
Right.
or just to have it to yourself as the city grows.
Well, and that's the other thing.
have that in place.
The option of having our own sewer plant, which is an option, the best place in town to have it is Leone Park.
Yeah.
Our sports park. It's the low side of town. It already has.
That's on the.
So it sounds like you need a rich person to die.
or it'd be very philanthropic, you know, just
just donate some money.
the park you're
I
talking about is
gotcha.
on the west or east side of the railroad tracks, over by Lowry's.
it's on 114.
Yeah.
It's between the railroad tracks and 114. Yeah.
Okay,
And
it's
that
the old
and it's-
one, right?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
and it's
yeah.
city, it's already we wouldn't have to buy land.
Yeah.
Already own it.
Yeah.
And it would fit a package plant big enough for what we need now and anticipated growth
Room to grow.
if we but I just don't want to have to run a sewer plant.
Yeah.
Well, if you have the growth, then you have the
It's like-
option.
I
to
just don't
have-
want
You
it.
would hire
Yeah.
somebody for that.
Yes, that's another,
Yeah.
full-time person with a certain license and just,
But
It's
if you're growing, that's
interesting, though.
a given thing, though, right?
Yeah, you
it's
do.
a-
remember it's only serving people in 2.2 square miles.
that's true.
Yeah.
And a lot of
But it allows for businesses, which serves the
right
area.
businesses come
Yeah.
in, so now we're talking sales tax dollars,
Yeah.
which is it's
And-
a circle.
and
We need
happier
sewer to get the
residents.
businesses. We need the businesses to get the sewer. So it's kind of catch 22.
How long do you
because
think?
that's also how you grow that 2.2 miles is because now businesses can buy the 600 acres that's not technically in the city, and then
But-
Annexed in.
Ask
annex.
voluntary annexation. That's the other thing. They have to ask.
yeah,
They got to
So
want it.
and that's where I'm seeing, like, I'm trying to gather themes from the conversations that we're having. And one of the themes that I see is that people can come in municipally. I don't even know if that's a word.
It's almost like rural.
Yeah,
Yes.
can
you're-
come
like it.
rural. Yeah, municipally and really change the equation if they got creative enough. Like a council person or a mayor can come in and be like, okay, if we figure this one problem out, then we are really going to open things up.
Yeah. How can we make this happen? What does it look
Yeah.
like to get us there? And we've started that progress with the feasibility study.
Sounds
Yeah,
to me
that's
like there's
cool.
more problem solving involved in meetings than actual just agendas and
Yeah.
We're going to
the
have to
typical
go
red
to a
tape.
few meetings.
There's a lot
Yeah.
more that happens between meetings that may even end up on the agenda.
Yeah.
There's things that are just continuing in the works.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get to the mayor's report. I'm like, still working on this. And then we have two things that we need to vote on, and that's it.
So, Paradise City limits, they have to be grown by voluntary annexation, just like Decatur.
Yes.
You can't.
There's no forcible annexation anymore.
Okay.
That got voted out.
anywhere in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Is that?
What does
Okay.
that mean
Yeah.
for the dumbasses like me?
So used to the cities could just say, okay, we're so cramped now we're going to expand, and boom, now there's the new city limits.
Typically,
Typically,
the
they would
city
take-
council would decide,
Well, typically they would encompass their ETJ.
okay,
So they would just go from here and say, like, we have a half mile ETJ. We would just go, okay, boom. Now that's our
Okay.
city limits, and our ETJ is right here.
Yeah.
okay.
But and everybody who was in the ETJ had no say. It was
What does
just
ETJ mean?
extraterritorial jurisdiction.
Okay, gotcha. So not in city limits.
I think you've been the only person to nail that so far on here. I think we've asked another couple, and they're like,
Easy. Yeah. Okay, awesome.
But now you can't do that anymore. So if we are to grow, it's because typically a developer bought property that butts up to our city limits, wants city
They want in,
services. So
Sewer
they ask,
that you don't have. Yeah. Okay.
So water, they can get water.
Yeah.
So I wonder if what time will tell if like that the Texas vote for voluntary annexation was a bad idea. If it's
I don't know. I understand it, but I also don't understand
The
it.
only thing
was that a Texas thing or a city vote?
he says
think
a
It's
state thing.
state.
Well, it's state.
The only bad thing is if you're a resident that's outside of city limits and you're suddenly bumped in, now you're paying city property taxes.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's
And that's why it was a big push to get rid of it.
yeah. I think as time will tell, it's not going to be that detrimental because of what we're going to lose out on with making it that more difficult to get done.
Well, what you're going to lose is like right now, if you go to the city of Decatur at 3:30 on a Monday through Friday and you're sitting in traffic, that's what you lose because the city's so
Compacted, yeah.
They can't go nowhere.
They can't grow, yeah.
or
I'm
they
curious about
can.
that. So
They can. It's just crazy impacted now.
sewer to you is the biggest priority right now, even over drinking water.
New park,
Yeah.
then sewer.
Then sewer. Okay, sure. Because you've got to
Because
move
it's
it.
yeah,
You've got to
because
move
it
the
may
park.
have to be at the park. So new park and then sewer, which will give us a lot of business because we're on 114, and even Main Street through town is also a TxDOT road
Mm-hmm.
as well. But those, the main business districts. So
Back in 2003, right out of high school, I was on the volunteer fire department for a little while. But back then, I believe Paradise was tiny, like nothing, a four-way stop and a gas station.
right,
Still there, but it's grown sizably since then. Back then, it was unincorporated, right?
They
No.
incorporated in 99, I think.
Did they?
late 90s. That might have been a little bit earlier, 99.
And it's been
Our
incorporated ever
minutes
since
go
then?
back to, I want to say 96 or 97.
All right.
I had to think.
Tell this dummy what it means to be unincorporated and then incorporated.
Well, we weren't a city and then became a city.
That's it? It's that simple?
Pretty much,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
The bulk of downtown Paradise was on community wells. Everybody agreed that they were going to use these few wells and get water. And from
That's
what I have been told
Yeah.
was TCEQ was going to come in and say, shut them down. Those wells are bad. You can't have them anymore. And so they got together and decided to incorporate and officially form a city so they could go to the Texas Water Development Board and the state and get grant money and funding to put in a new water system. Paradise Incorporated to get water.
Wow. I mean, is that me? Is that you?
That's
Is it a
my
phone?
daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. You need to get that.
Pull it's working.
Tell her we said hi.
Hold on. Georgia, you're on with the Whiskey Bros. What do
Hey,
you
what's
need?
What's up, Georgia? Welcome to the show.
Hey, you're at home.
No, I've only been talking about this for weeks.
No, I tracked you. It said you were in Paradise.
Well, I am.
Not only are you talking to the Whiskey Bros, but you're talking to the world.
She can't hear you. Her daughter can't hear you.
Are you okay?
Oh, I bet she can. She's on
Yeah, I
speakerphone.
was just asking you if you wanted something from Panda Express. Like,
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, get some egg rolls.
Yes. Orange
Orange
chicken
chicken.
for everybody.
No, thank you. We're good. Okay. Love you.
Love
bye.
you.
That's the baby. Sorry.
How old is she?
19.
That was Georgia.
Georgia.
That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
I just can't believe you're old enough to have a 19-year-old kid.
And she's the baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's
So
your
how
eldest?
long have y'all been married?
We have been married 24 years.
Hope you
Yeah,
don't.
officially-
Hope you don't watch this.
Officially longest of
That
Yeah.
took a little.
all of
That
us.
took a little
I
too
gotta
long.
think what year. We got married in 99. Of course, we met in 95. We got married in 99. The eldest was born in 2000, so she's 23. She'll be 24 in May. The next one is 21, and then 19. So
And I know you're
2
not
years.
supposed to do this, but how old are you?
I am 44.
That's awesome.
I
Like
started early. I'm an overachiever.
Yeah, but so what? Now you have your whole life left ahead of you.
I know.
By the-
Believe me, when I first got pregnant, I did that math.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
It's like
Okay.
now you can go get that
I'll be
sewer.
a young lady when I'm going to be in a wheelchair by the time my daughter graduates. Like, you brought your grandpa to graduation. That's my dad.
I'm trying to figure that problem out myself.
Yeah, no, my oldest is actually married and college graduate. She graduated from Tarleton with an English and literature degree.
Nice.
The middle one is still at Tarleton. She did graduate, get her bachelor's in December, but she's in a master's program. They have an accelerated master's program there for her master's in athletic training.
Okay.
You'd like to do Western Sports Med. He loves to go to the Bull Riders.
Great school. We have a couple of Tarleton alumni in our family too. So yeah, great college.
Yeah.
And then the baby's now trying to figure out what she wants to do. She wanted to do be a physical therapy assistant, and she was doing the prereqs for that at Weatherford. And she's really recently found out that's not going to happen because of a COVID requirement.
Oh,
Let's
no,
go,
is that
Doc.
still-
Let's
is
go.
that-
Let's
my
do it.
gosh.
Where's the
Is
conspiracy
that-
There it is.
crossroads?
That's still in place.
She and here's the thing. Her senior year, she got COVID, and my girls were distance runners, and it really knocked her on her butt. Not really with the respiratory system, but the whole rest of her body. Like,
Right.
she just ached and hurt
It was
could hardly move.
Kind of turned into really bad long COVID.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
she developed
Which
POTS.
sucked. That sucked. And pot sucks.
And she's got
Yeah.
posterior orthostatic tachycardia syndrome.
That is,
It's a heart condition.
yeah.
So
it's a syndrome of, so we don't understand syndromes. We don't understand the cause, but we know enough about like a set of symptoms to group those symptoms into the same batch and say, this is something.
for her,
Right.
when she stands up, her heart rate shoots up.
That's right. So this was I remember reading about this, and it caused whenever you made the movement from either standing up, sitting down, or sitting down to standing up, or laying, whatever.
Right.
That's when the issues arise.
Yes. And so her distance running, I mean, she was able to take medicine. She shortened the race that she ran in track. She didn't run the mile and the 2 miles. She ran the 800. And she took beta blockers and timed it to where it would help. And so she should get through her senior year. But now she does not run. She does not run.
And
But they require you to take the COVID vaccine for your clinicals in this program for your, especially
Still.
the inpatient clinicals.
Still.
Yes. And she does not
Good.
want
See,
to
that's
take it. She
where-
even got a letter from her cardiologist that says
Saying-
she has this. She
It's
should
not recommended.
yeah, she
Yeah.
should be able to take it or not take it at her discretion. And the directors of the program told her it would be unethical for us to admit you to the program knowing you wouldn't be able to do your clinicals.
See, that's
it's
where
unethical for them to be directors
Yeah,
because
so-
they're fucking
It-
tyrants.
I know,
It's
They
but
are
the clinic.
tyrants.
It's the clinic. They're like, it's not us. It's
Oh,
the
that's all-
clinics.
yeah. Okay.
So I saw this during COVID. I saw COVID vaccine policy, okay, which is not centrally directed, right? You know, maybe the school, much like you work things out in the city, right? The
Could work it out with
work
the
it out
clinic.
with the clinics to say that no, we're not going to do this, you know, or whatever. So the COVID vaccine policy is decentralized. It's not centralized, right? Okay, so where that became relevant during COVID was people's jobs. You know, it's like their company was requiring this. It wasn't so much like the government was requiring this. It was really
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of stupid people.
The government was making vain threats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then businesses were following along.
Yeah.
But so, you know, and luckily, like with, at least within Texas, at least within like my patient population, it's like the businesses let up on all that bullshit, right? They let up on all that. But you know, I hate hearing that bullshit is still in place and it's affecting the career progress of a young person. It just
like, so what is-
literally infuriates
What is she going to
me.
do? I mean, if you're going to something that route in the health sciences route, it's going to involve clinicals.
Yes.
And clinical sites, you know, dictate where you can go and what you can do, and any of the inpatient. And I understand it's inpatient clinicals. So if you want to read between the lines, you're talking physical therapy assistant and inpatient clinicals. You're looking at nursing homes and
Yeah.
you know, assisted living, because those are the inpatients who need to get the
Sure. Yeah.
those services. So
And that's going to affect those services. It's going to affect everybody because what are we going to do without physical therapy assistants?
Yeah.
And then who's going to become the physical therapist?
Yeah, who's going to stand? Who's going to do the job?
Physical therapy assistants.
Right.
It's like what's the biggest feed into physical therapy? Physical therapy assistants.
exactly, it's a
Right?
big thing.
So
now she's like,
At some point, this is
not
going to
small shit.
this is going to backfire in the face badly of
I
those
think
people
it's
that
already
that enforce. Good.
backfiring on the public.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Good.
So sorry, you
No,
hit a.
I did that.
you hit
I
a
knew I
chord.
was going there. That's why I looked at him like,
Okay.
you're gonna be there. So, and of course, well, she called. So there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to kind of wrap it up and wind it down a little bit. Is
I
there
feel
any?
like there's more I wanted to know,
so much.
Okay.
but you did. It's like I'm getting an appreciation for the gears and the. Can I say lube?
Sure. Yes.
What it takes to
The grease.
smoothly run
Yeah.
all the cogs in the system.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's
I need to pour
so.
this out.
Thanks for like.
Yeah.
Well, if
And
there's
this
more
is-
you want to know, then ask.
Yeah, I am personally. I'm at City Hall on Mondays and Wednesdays. I like a lot of elected officials like Eddie. This is
Yeah.
not our job unless you're at the county level where that is, they get
It's
a full-time
truly
salary. It's a job.
volunteer.
It is. This is not what I do for work. I mean, so I do my mayoring. It's a verb. Mayoring on Mondays and Wednesdays, and then my other bookkeeping job on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays.
How do you communicate with your people?
My council members and everybody, a lot of email and reminder texts, which will
Okay.
be coming out tomorrow.
It's like group text.
No, not group text. You don't want to violate that open meetings
Yeah, you
Act.
can't do that.
No, 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 no,
It'll be
no.
a quorum.
No.
Is that so? Tell me about that.
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can
true?
only.
Oh.
Well, I don't know about y'all's, but ours, if it's more than 3.
Yeah, a quorum is
Yeah.
3. They
That's
do not
interesting.
want the way their government is set up is that the people have the right to see their government in action. That's why the meetings are open and people can come and listen and watch and hear the deliberation and talks and
It's
things.
like good theory, right?
So
Yeah.
they don't want you to be talking about things and how are you going to vote and what do you think about this outside of
And so group
of
text
those-
would violate that.
it can.
all
They
of
call
them.
them a walking quorum.
Yeah.
And so you're very careful we don't powwow.
Yeah. And so you have group text with these people. You just don't talk about official business.
I text
on it.
them individually and it's really reminders. Tomorrow they will each get the text that says reminder, workshop at 5, meeting at 6.
We're not in workshops.
It's only because of specific reason. Not a regular thing. It's a specific reason.
You can't talk about it on here because it'd be
Yeah.
No.
a walking forum.
Technically, they
Her and I
can.
No,
can
it's
talk-
posted.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
that is
the
true.
agenda's posted. It's a posted water rates.
Water rates.
Sorry, water rate. Water.
So what advice would you hand a normal bloke like myself who's not involved? I'm not saying I will. It's like I see Whiskey Bros as my forum.
Most people
But-
have something they're passionate with that the city's involved in.
Okay.
Parks
Mhm.
is one of them.
Yeah.
Or utilities, or roads, or safety, or something. So in a lot of towns, especially if you're anyone but Paradise, reach out to those directors
Okay.
and ask questions.
Mhm.
Maybe there's a board you can get on and go to one of their meetings. A lot of council meetings are not everybody's cup of tea, but I would also suggest to go sit in on one or two just so you can get a feel of how the people you've elected are working
It's a great idea.
and what they're doing. But yeah, just ask questions, email. I'll answer if I can.
yeah.
Anytime.
I got it. But reach out to the board members.
Yeah, because
Good.
most people aren't interested in absolutely everything.
Right.
In a lot of towns, they have a direct line and some people that you can talk to for those. It just happens to be in Paradise. It's
They're specifically
What?
passionate
You know?
about. Yeah.
Look, how can I answer it? If I don't know it, I will ask somebody who does.
But don't get on Facebook and rant.
Be more
Yeah.
engaged. Talk with your representatives.
There's always more to it than what you get on the Facebook
Yeah.
side.
I like it.
Oh,
And-
or from Farmer Joe, and here's his hearsay about it. You know,
And if
it's-
somebody said that just sounds terrible, that doesn't sound right, how can they do that? Well, then it's probably not
Not
accurate.
true.
And
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the whole reason why I got on city council is I was pissed off about having to get on the water. So
And how'd that go?
well, when you actually
So then it got on the water.
And then you examine that.
when you get involved
Yeah.
and you actually get all of the information, you're like, oh, okay, I understand the need. Okay, no problem. Well, when you have all the information, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was the whole reason why I got on council, because I was trying to see, why are y'all making us do this?
So if you feel compelled to bitch about something, first show up to a meeting and just be informed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or just call City Hall or send an email or something. Ask a question.
Ask a question.
You can go
yeah.
through our website and submit a question.
Mhm.
It goes to our city secretary and
What is said website?
cityofparadise.texas.org. Texas is spelled out.
Pretty
Okay.
easy.
Gotcha. So you state it like it's okay, dumbass. If you're gonna bitch about something, show up to a meeting. But
Why are you looking at me calling me a dumbass? Why?
No. I'm saying that's the tone I get. But really, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, it really is.
Mhm.
Is if you get pissed off about something, go to a meeting. Like that's a really good idea.
Mhm.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what they're for.
Yeah, that is what they're for. That is your
Okay.
venue to get in front of your elected officials and ask the questions. And
For your own personal sanity too. Like you're gonna have a question answered, you'll be informed, you'll probably not be angry about it, and you'll sleep better at night,
Yeah.
and you'll live a longer life.
See, I think there's essentials to public life that I don't know how you got, right? But you did. But we
I wanted
have
to be the
lost
boss.
within society. I guess so, right? It's like
this is and I say that very tongue in cheek, like, because this
Sure.
this is a servant leadership if ever there was one.
yeah.
Because I am there to look out for the best interests of everybody in town and serve them in that way. But that also means, being in a leadership role and talking to people and delegating and making decisions. Because buck stops here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
are there term limits on being a mayor?
not in Paradise.
Okay, so if
We don't have term limits.
if you're continued to, if your citizens keep voting for you, how long do you want to keep it going?
Well, until God tells me I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Like I said, I'd love to get a city administrator and sewer and business.
No,
and
city administrator and then parks.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
park,
and then
sewer, business, and somewhere in there, get a city administrator to help make sure it all continues to run smoothly, even after I'm gone.
sewer. Okay.
So
That's awesome.
that's the idea. I would also really love a Cheeseburgers in Paradise festival every summer.
That's brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you see what's
Thank
happening
you.
in Denison?
No.
There's a $6 billion project coming in, and it is a dedicated Jimmy Buffett thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
All in Denison.
Margaritaville
Yeah,
and-
on
oh,
like,
yeah.
in between Denison and like Texoma. It's going to be.
I just thought it would be a great fun festival to do and have a cheeseburger.
What do we have to do to help that
and-
along then?
Man, I don't know.
EDC, who
I'm
got the?
working on, I'm working on it.
No, it
Yeah.
starts right here. Damn it!
No, I don't, because we don't have any voting rights.
I know that, but we have
who got
we
the
have
food truck
publicizing and
challenge?
promoting
Who-
abilities.
Yeah, but
It's
they
like,
gotta
how
get
did
it
the food
passed
truck
in the council.
challenge form indicator? Could that be a model of how cheeseburgers form in Paradise?
Like a food, like, have you seen the cute little food truck court going on in Alborn? Where my bookkeeping office is, my other job, my day job. The office is now right across from that. So I'm very excited to start seeing food trucks pop up there. And I actually wanted to see something like that happen in Paradise over there by the bank. And
It could still happen.
can't,
And
the owners of that property, haven't done it yet.
well, I mean, don't give up.
I would support
Cheeseburgers
that.
in Paradise could be
The
reality.
council would support that. I
You
feel.
don't need sewer for that.
No, you don't.
I'm just saying.
And one of the things a lot of people
People
in
can go
Paradise
shit in the
want is
woods.
food.
Yeah.
well, I mean, there's probably going to be porta potties. But
I was about to say,
Yeah.
there's a taco shop. I guess when you go by a Quick Trip, just right there on the right.
Yeah.
They've got porta potties there.
Yeah.
It's a little food truck.
It's all because of city ordinance.
Yeah.
You got to have it.
Is it
Yeah.
because they offer seating?
No, I think if any food thing, I think you have to have because the other taco trucks don't. So it's got to be something.
Because
It might be because
I
they
want to
offer
say
seating.
if you offer like seating, sit
Yeah.
down dining,
It might
I want
be.
to say you also need to offer facilities.
Yeah, because there's other food trucks that don't have them.
do you want this
Right.
as an everyday thing or a festival?
The festival, Cheeseburgers in
Yeah.
Paradise,
Yeah, once a year.
once a year, a
Yeah.
big festival,
Mm.
and to have a Jimmy Buffett cover band at night.
That
Okay.
would be awesome.
I mean, right?
I don't even know where you come up with such a great idea, but obviously you have like packaged brilliance within you.
Are you
I
Jimmy?
like you, Doc.
Are you a Jimmy Buffett fan?
I do like Jimmy
Okay.
Buffett.
Did you see his cameo in Jurassic Park?
I remember that.
There's a cameo in Jurassic
Which
Park where
old school Jurassic Park or Chris Pratt Jurassic
the
Park?
Chris Pratt Jurassic Park.
okay.
Yeah. There's a scene where a dinosaur is like coming through trash and everything, and this old man like, grabs 2 margaritas and is running away with it.
Yeah.
That's Jimmy Buffett.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, Cheeseburgers in Paradise.
Yeah.
It seems
Right?
like fun. I think.
So could that be our title? I know we already decided on a title.
Well, we got to stick with our
but
standard flow.
I don't know. It's like, what was it? Government and cocaine?
Pazookies, cocaine, and the federal government.
I mean, that's pretty good. It's hard to beat that.
Doesn't really sum up anything.
I don't know that has anything to do with Paradise.
Okay,
but
so should we let our guest decide? Cheeseburgers.
this
in
is not
Paradise?
my podcast. I
No,
will.
we're gonna call it
Okay.
featuring Amanda Black.
Yeah.
Get to know your. We're gonna do that, and then we can do like in parentheses cheeseburger. I don't know. We're gonna figure out something.
If you had to
incorporate.
pick, what would you pick?
Well, obviously, I would go with Cheeseburgers in Paradise.
Okay, we're not picking that. Let's go on.
we didn't tell you that here. This is a dictatorship.
Obviously, democracy is not within these walls.
Democracy died at that door
This
right
is
over
the
there.
whole reason we're doing this segment is because the wheels of democracy are threatening to stop.
Mm.
And
There is, I never wanted to be a politician. I don't consider myself a politician at all. I think it is asinine.
I think that's why you're perfect and where you're at. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're not.
But there are still, regardless, there is just hoops and red tapes galore that municipalities of all sizes have to jump through to do anything. And when I was first elected on council many years ago, a friend of mine from Little Elm who had served in similar capacity, he said, prepare yourself. Nothing happens quickly in government.
and that's true.
Nothing. So
Wow.
projects, we have our expansion to our water system project has been going on for years. That predates you, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying
I
to
think
get
your
that
just
done.
was like these type of positions are
Yeah.
being hijacked by people that are alarmists or activists
No,
or not good people, not normal
Right.
functioning common sense people.
You're
People
prescribing
that-
me more brilliance than I deserve.
People
because
that-
that wasn't what I was alluding to, but I do agree with that statement.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What then?
I was just saying that it's like what is schooling us in governance, okay, is not happening anymore. Okay, it's like where do you learn about what the mayor does?
Ask
right?
the mayor.
Yeah, I think you ask the mayor. It's
or find the Whiskey Bros on YouTube.
There you go.
yeah,
YouTube University.
right. Or city council. It's like young people are not getting. I feel like
Yeah, you don't
I may
leave
be
high
wrong.
school saying, "Man, I found out what a mayor did today."
yeah, it's like you know what keeps this ball rolling.
Yeah.
You
Right?
know who learns that in Paradise? Kindergartners.
Really.
Every spring, the kindergartners do this field trip and they go visit First National Bank.
That's awesome.
They go visit the fire department. They visit the post office, and then they come to City Hall. I look forward to this every
That's
year.
cool.
We take all the chairs out and they sit down in the front. And what I've done in the last couple of years is I've held a mock council meeting. I
Oh.
take the gavel out, I bang the gavel, I bring this meeting to order, and they,
So they get to experience
we do the
it. Yeah.
pledges. I'll have a motion teed up, to
Yeah.
declare this Paradise Kindergartners
Mm-hmm.
Day. And
That's awesome. And it's not that they go through school and then go into city council, but then later on in their life, they're going to have something that comes up that's going to expose them to city council, and they're going to be pissed off about something.
usually
And
when you
then
get
they're
mad
gonna
about
run.
something. Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah. And then it's like their family's going to call them up and be like, you really should run for mayor. Or you should run for city council. And then they're going to run and then get involved.
Invested.
Yeah, invested.
You get invested. As soon as you get involved,
Right.
you get invested.
Yeah, which circles back around is if you have an account with only so much investment in it, where do you put it? Where do you put it? You put it in
That's
your,
a very personal decision. Like I said, it's where are you most passionate about?
yeah.
I mean, each one of my council members, there's something different that they're there, that they are really there for and they look out for. I've got the parks guys. I've got the safety guy. One of my council members is a fireman. So when we're talking about fire codes and development, he's showing up on stuff and he's talking, you know. I've got the one who's looking out for the older residents and making sure we're taking care of them and not doing stuff with that. So that also helps me if I need help with assistance. If I with something, I know I can call one of them and say, "This is your wheelhouse. Can you help me out with that?" You know.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stop ranting. We can.
Y'all keep bringing up more stuff for me to talk about. He's
so
tried
great.
to end this podcast like 2 times.
That's what we do. I think that happens from time to time.
Yeah.
We think we run out of topics, and then there's 40 more topics all of a sudden. And we're working here primitively too. Our notes screen is down because our IT guy sucks.
He does. Terrible.
IT guy.
Yep.
But anyways,
He gave us some bullshit excuse about I ain't got time to fix it, that guys. I got a podcast to go to.
I'm also Mayor Pro Tem. I've got things to do. Screw you guys. I'm out of questions.
Okay. I'm good. Believe it or not. I'm
Boom.
good.
Is there anything that you would like to finalize with? Any wise words?
Did you say when your city council meetings are, by the way?
4th Monday of the month,
Okay.
6 p.m., City Hall, 218 Main Street.
Got one tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. Ask. If you have questions, ask. I'm available. Email. I will answer. I mean, we are still people. We're approachable. Just ask. A lot of people don't. Apparently, I'm invisible or not approachable because they won't. But I will. I will answer. And,
Okay, the people have it.
Yeah.
It's like you said it.
I've noticed that there's a couple people that will email now when they see something stupid come on Facebook and they want verification. They'll email.
They'll actually be proactive.
They'll get their own answer and formulate their own opinion. And once they get both sides of the story, they understand.
That's nice.
So Facebook does serve a purpose.
It starts crap. That's about it.
Stirs the pot.
Okay.
Nothing good ever comes from it. But
Yeah.
Well, once again, it's been a wonderfully informative
Yeah, it really has.
episode on Pazookies.
Oh wait, there was one thing weren't we supposed to ask about if I prefer councilwoman?
Oh my God! She does listen.
I listen and pay
A
attention.
verified listener. Okay,
And-
so what is it?
I don't care.
Okay.
I am not that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care. Councilman.
I just call
Mayor.
her Amanda. That's all.
Yeah. Madam Mayor. We have a
Ooh,
joke.
I like
have
Madam Mayor. That's that's boss lady
Well,
right
I
there.
kinda like that.
Madam Mayor.
Can you represent the portion of people who are council women? Oh.
Well,
Because technically you're not councilman or a
no,
woman.
I
You're
mean
a
I
mayor.
was. We were aldermen. If you want to, that's the other
Oh.
term for it. And there's no older woman. It's like just alderman form of
Yeah, that's
government.
just weird.
But it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, man is in the word woman already as it is, so it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, councilwoman still rolls off the tongue nicely. It makes sense. So now if you get into more specific current trends, it's like I'm a council
Cancel them,
them they.
Yeah.
Council it.
Wow.
What do you look disappointed for? Why are you so disappointed?
No,
over
that wasn't
there?
Doc approved. Bro.
No.
He's shaking
No,
his
we
head.
hurt his
Nah,
feelings.
Nah.
Nah.
I know for some reason
Know how I rule my life.
for some reason it's like my line stops at after councilwoman. Right?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
It should. Yeah.
council day.
Council they.
I can't do it.
It's
And
Council Bay.
speaking of canceled, we are.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're in good company though. There's a lot of good people that have been canceled lately, so I'm happy about
Yeah.
that. Here's to being canceled.
Oh yeah.
But really, no jokes, no more jokes about Pazookies. It's been a really great, wonderful episode. Very informative. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on.
Oh, thanks
And
for having me.
Thanks for talking about everything that you do. I'm more educated now.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah.
I'm still a dumbass.
Sure.
I'm an
Smarter
educated
one.
dumbass.
Yeah, but you get wiser as time goes on.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't feel
the
that way
key.
at all.
Yeah.
Is that like the crazy person that doesn't
I
know
mean,
they're
you said it
crazy?
earlier. It's like as time goes on, you realize that you don't know more.
Yeah.
Like, wisdom is the constant pursuit of knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
I feel
lose
that.
tolerance for stuff too.
Mm.
Oh,
I do know
definitely.
But they
that.
say travel is mortal to racism or something like that. I forget how that goes. It's a Mark Twain quote, I think. That travel
it sounds correct.
yeah, something
right?
like that.
It sounds
that makes sense.
It sounds correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
You
reading
lose-
Rainbow, the more you know.
Is reading Rainbow still a thing? I don't know what we're
No.
doing right now. We're not talking about reading Rainbow.
Cue the
Anyways.
exit music.
Yeah, right on. Amanda Black, thank you, ma'am. It's been great having you tonight.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Ghost Bro, thank you, sir. It's been great
Yes.
having you tonight. In the capacity of a whiskey bro or mayor pro tem, I don't know which
Either
one you're
way.
here for, but
Yeah, happy to be here.
it's been great. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Good night.
Adios.
You've been listening to the Whiskey Bros Around the Table.
Gracias por convivir con los hermanos Whiskey.